Motorsmt jirringrazzja lil Animed, Virtu Ferries, Continental Cars, SecureTech, Casafini, GP Karting, Drinks and More, G Malton, Xcambri Batteries, Motors Inc. u Vigo Menswear. Għal Animed Challenge Motorsmt jirringrazzja lil Animed, Go and Fun, Malta Drag Racing Association u Old Motors Club Malta.
Nilqawkom programm ieħor Motorsmt bħalma tafu din in-nofsja dejjem nitkellmu dwar l-isport tal-karozzi u tal-muturi kif ukoll rigward karozzi antiki. Din il-ġimgħa għandna programm tassew speċjali. Ir-raġuni hija li fil-fatt dan il-programm morna propju barra minn pajjiżna morna ġewwa Londra, l-Ingilterra, fejn hemmhekk iffilmjajna avveniment li jsir ta' kull sena. L-avveniment huwa il-London to Brighton Veteran Car Run. Kif ukoll irnexxina nlaqgħukom ma' xi proprjetarji u karozzi li jieħdu sehem f'dan l-avveniment.
Il-London to Brighton Veteran Car Run hija l-aktar avveniment antik tal-karozzi fid-dinja li kien sar fuq korsa bejn Londra u Brighton fl-Ingilterra. Għal dan l-avveniment jikkwalifikaw biss karozzi mibnija qabel l-1905. Dan l-avveniment huwa wkoll l-akbar ġabra ta' karozzi veterani fid-dinja. L-ewwel edizzjoni li kienet imsejħa The Emancipation Run li saret fl-1896 iċċelebrat l-att tal-istess sena dwar lokomottivi fuq toroq pubbliċi li għadda dik is-sena. Dan l-att illiberalizza l-liġijiet tal-vetturi bil-mutur fir-Renju Unit. L-avveniment reġa' beda jsir fl-1927 fl-ewwel ħadd ta' Novembru. It-tluq ikun ma' tluq ix-xemx f'Hyde Park Londra sa tmiem fi Brighton, triq ta' 45 mil. Hemm żewġ waqfiet uffiċjali tul it-triq, Crawley u Preston Park. L-avveniment jiġi organizzat f'isem The Royal Automobile Club jenfasizza li l-avveniment mhuwiex tellieqa lanqas biss jippubblikaw l-ordni li fiha jispiċċaw il-karozzi u l-parteċipanti mhumiex permessi jaqbżu veloċità medja ta' 20 mil fis-siegħa. Dawk li jispiċċaw qabel l-4:09 ta' wara nofsinhar jieħdu medalja. L-ewwel London to Brighton Veteran Car Run saret fl-14 ta' Novembru tal-1899. Kien sibt imxarrab u ġiet organizzata minn Harry J. Lawson. Ġiet imsemmija The Emancipation Run bħala ċelebrazzjoni għall Locomotives on Highway Acts tal-1896 li kien ħa post l-atti tal-lokomottivi restrittivi tal-1861, tal-1865 u tal-1878. Dan l-att siet il-limitu tal-veloċità għal 14 mil fis-siegħa. Mill-1878 il-limitu tal-veloċità kien ta' 4 mili biss fis-siegħa fil-pajjiż u 2 mili fis-siegħa fl-bliet u kellhom bżonn skorta li timxi 20 jarda quddiem il-vettura. Il-mawra kienet ukoll l-ewwel laqgħa tal-Motor Car Club li tiegħu l-istess Lawson kien president. L-avveniment kien beda b'kolazzjon fil-lukanda Charing Cross li kien jinkludi it-tiġrid simboliku ta' bandiera ħamra fit-tnejn minn Lord Winchelsea, ħaġa li għadha ssir sal-lum. Dan għax l-Emancipation Run iċċelebrat l-abbandun tal-ħtieġa li l-iskorta iġġor bandiera bħal din quddiem kull karozza. Il-parteċipanti inġabru barra il-lukanda Metropol. Kollox 33 sewwieq telaq minn Londra lejn il-kosta, 17 waslu Brighton. L-ewwel karozza telqet minn Londra fl-10:30 ta' filgħodu u l-ewwel wasla f'Brighton b'karozza ta' tip Durea Motorwagen wasal Brighton sija qabel it-tieni karozza. Żewġ karozzi Durea ipparteċipaw fl-avveniment li jimmarkaw l-ewwel dera ta' vetturi Amerikani fl-Ewropa. Għal ftit snin saret il-Commemoration Run bejn Whitehall Place u Sheen House Club li tkopri madwar 8 mili. Il-ġirja minn Londra għal Brighton reġgħet bdiet fl-1927 baqgħet issir kull sena ħlief matul it-Tieni Gwerra Dinjija sas-sena 1947 minħabba nuqqas u għall-użu għaqli tal-petrol u fis-sena 2020 minħabba il-pandemija tal-COVID-19. Meta jitqies dan kollu, il-London to Brighton Veteran Car Run huwa l-aktar avveniment tal-karozzi fid-dinja li ilu għaddej. Mill-1930 l-avveniment kien ikkontrollat mir-Royal Automobile Club. Il-ġurnata ta' qabel il-London to Brighton Veteran Car Run issir is-St James's International Concourse, din id-darba minn Marlborough Road, St James's, li l-pubbliku seta' jara ħafna mill-karozzi li kien ser jipparteċipaw fl-avveniment mill-qrib u fiċ-ċentru ta' Londra waqt konkors spettakolari. Dan l-avveniment lejliet ieħor akbar jassigura li Londra tkun destinazzjoni aktar attrajanti mis-soltu u tqanqal l-aptit għal 126 anniversarju tal-Emancipation Run. Għana ħadna l-okkażjoni biex inlaqqawkom ma' wħud mill-parteċipanti u l-vetturi tagħhom. Motorsmt jirringrazzja lil Animed, Virtu Ferries, Continental Cars, SecureTech, Casafini, GP Karting, Drinks and More, G Molten, Xcambri Batteries, Motors Inc. u Vigo Menswear. Għal Animed Challenge, Motorsmt jirringrazzja lil Animed, Go and Fun, Malta Drag Racing Association u Old Motors Club Malta.
First and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you.
We've just been sharing this moment with you and they were presenting you the award. So can you tell us a bit about your experience with the London Brighton? Is this the first time?
No, so this is actually my father's car.
Okay.
My father passed last year of brain cancer. I had ridden for many years as a passenger with him. And then in 2018, he would drive the first half and I would drive the second half.
Okay.
So I've driven now 2 years before COVID hit. And,
Okay.
and his cancer. So it's been 3 years now since we've been here.
All right.
This is my first time driving without my father, so
So
a little emotional.
definitely.
But he's a car collector and he would want me to keep doing it.
I'm sure, very sure of that. So can you tell us about what is the car?
Yeah, so this is a 1903 curved dash Oldsmobile
Okay, so it's from the US
from the US.
and it was imported to the UK, or do you know the story, how it happened?
Yeah, so my father bought it about 12 years ago.
Okay.
And once we came over and watched the run one year without running in it ourselves, and then he decided he wanted to enter the car, so we shipped the car over.
All right.
And now it stays here in England with a friend of ours who's a mechanic.
Okay.
And he takes care of it, he keeps it running.
The ideal friend.
Yes,
Of course.
definitely, yes, as a car collector.
Yeah.
And he keeps it running all year, and I got here 2 days ago, and it started right up.
Well done, well done. So, you're going to drive it all the way this time, or there's someone else?
I'm going to drive it all the way, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean the plan is
Yes,
that, the plan that
yes.
you drive it all the way. First and foremost, thank you for your time. I know it's a very exciting moment for you at
Absolutely.
the moment. You have just been awarded the overall winner
Yep.
from all these cars. So can you please tell us a bit about the car and about yourself?
Thank you. So this is a 1903 Thornycroft. So Thornycroft were actually more famous for commercial vehicles and made a few cars, 20 horsepower like this one and 10 horsepower. And they made them just outside London in Basingstoke. And this car actually was in the Crystal Palace Motor Show in 1904 and then stayed in family ownership. So they had it for about 50 years on the Isle of Wight. And they actually changed it quite a lot. They made it made the chassis longer and used it as more of a sort of farm vehicle. And then passed through a couple of different ownerships. We bought it about 2 years ago at the bottom sale and have taken it back to what it would have been like back in 1903.
Okay, and this is the first London or Brighton run in this car, or
So
before?
my brother's driving this one.
Okay.
I have done every London to Brighton run since 1989.
Wow.
So I've done
Okay.
quite a few. So I started on a Type 9 Peugeot with my father and did almost all of them with him up until recently, and then sadly he died last year, so we're doing it this year, certainly thinking about him and in his honour.
So, Duncan, we have been here this morning since early.
Yeah.
You came later than us.
Yes.
But you came on your own steam.
Absolutely.
We arrived with a taxi. You literally arrived on your own steam.
Yeah.
So, can you please tell us some history about this amazing machine? Because,
Okay.
I mean, it's not even a car for me. I mean, it's an amazing machine.
What do you mean, not a car? No.
It's something else.
I know
Because, I mean, if this is a car, what are the others? I mean,
Well, this was really this was designed and built in 1893. So
Wow.
before petrol was invented.
Okay.
But this was designed and built by a man who built ships. The Salverson company, Christian Salverson, who was became a very big haulage company in the UK.
All right.
They were Danish guys who emigrated to Scotland in the 1850s. And Christian Salverson's son, Henry, was a graduate from Edinburgh University in marine engineering. And they were very wealthy. And I think in 1893, he just fancied building a car. Simple as that. There were no cars, there were nothing in 1893, there was no petrol. So he chose coal-fired steam because that's what he understood. And he built this car in the shipyards in Grangemouth. And he used it for a bit. But the problem was that within a very short period of time, cars developed very fast, and petrol started being used, and the petrol engine started being developed. Within 2 or 3 years, this car was out of date. So within 3 years of building the car, he bought a Daimler. So sadly, he only built one, and it was the last of the era of steam, coal-fired steam, that disappeared almost a year or two after it was finished.
Yeah. So I was a bit right. So it's more of a ship with wheels than a car.
A ship with wheels. Yeah, absolutely. A ship with wheels. But it was all they knew. They didn't know. All this lot came later. They didn't know what it was supposed to be. In fact, there was a car very much like this built in 1870. Wow. The same configuration. Okay. So he just copied what was really all he knew. But it was sadly the end of the era. But it's a really good thing. But the nice thing for me is I'm a fanatic about very early cars.
Okay.
They don't get much earlier.
Okay.
And I'm only the 4th owner of this in 129 years, which is fantastic.
So how about driving it? Is it difficult to drive it?
I don't drive.
You don't drive?
No, my wife drives it.
My wife drives, and you take care of the...
I shovel the coal in the back. Yeah, my wife drives, my daughters drive, and my friend drives, but I really like running the engine. I really like being the fireman.
Yeah.
It's a funny thing. When I first bought the car, which was only in 2018, and I knew the man who had it before, I was very frightened of it because it's steam and it's pressure and it's flames, and I didn't know.
Don't forget you have to check the gauges.
Yeah, okay. But I was very frightened of it at first. But then as you start to use it, the interesting thing is running the engine, is managing the steam, and I think that's where I am.
First and foremost, thank you very much for giving us some time for this interview. No, we just witnessed that you have been given the winner for the costume. Yes. I understand this is very important for you, because to prepare such costumes and come here with these beautiful costumes, it means a lot. Yes. So can you tell us a bit about the idea of the costumes, what they represent?
Dus you have to tell what you... my wife, she likes, when we drive a car, we have different cars. This is one from the year 1902.
Okay.
And she likes to have the dresses with the car from the same area. Okay. So she made these dresses that is really 1900. Okay. And it fits that car, but she made it all herself.
Okay.
This dress, the dress that she has under it, everything she made herself.
So from where is the inspiration? She saw someone wearing these clothes?
Because we like the combination. We like the combination to the car with. We find it's more beautiful when you see a car
Definitely.
with the people in the correct dresses than when you're going with normal dresses.
Motorsmt jirringrazzja lil Animed, Virtu Ferries, Continental Cars, SecureTech, Casafini, GP Karting, Drinks and More, G Malton, Xcambri Batteries, Motors Inc. u Vigo Menswear. Għal Animed Challenge, Motorsmt jirringrazzja lil Animed, Go and Fun, Malta Drag Racing Association u Old Motors Club Malta.